The hurricane was more deadly and destructive than most people knew. The Carolinas are littered with wreckage from a head-on collision with the powerful storm. And it's not done yet. Heavy rain sets off massive flooding as remnants of the big storm move up the East Coast.
This is the CBS Evening News, with Dan Rather reporting from CBS News headquarters in New York.
Good evening. Hurricane Fran turns out to have been even worse than it appeared last night. Take a look at the daylight evidence. President Clinton has declared the entire state of North Carolina a major disaster area. The storm crashed ashore last night at Cape Fear along the North-South Carolina border. It ripped up trees and utility poles, turning them into missiles. At least 12 deaths are blamed on the storm. At least 4 million people in the Carolinas and Virginia were still without electricity late today. The hurricane was officially downgraded to a tropical storm in Virginia, but it still packs plenty of rain. Streets in Madison County, Virginia turned into rivers as 6 inches of rain fell in just 5 hours. As the floodwaters rose, many people had to be rescued from their homes. The hurricane is now a tropical depression moving north with rain and 35-mile-an-hour winds. Rainfall up to 8 inches in some places is predicted for its path, with the potential for floods and isolated tornadoes. Our CBS News correspondents and cameras have been out today assessing the hurricane damage. Virtually every home in Wilmington, North Carolina's area, this is not a small population area, sustained at least some damage. Correspondent John Roberts is there.
The most powerful hurricane to hit the Carolinas since Hugo in 1989 left a trail of destruction. Up and down the barrier islands, homes knelt before Fran's power, victims of the 12-foot storm surge that swept over the Strand.
So the ocean just ran up over the town of Carolina Beach, and the town of Carolina Beach became the oceanfront.
For more than 8 hours, hurricane-force winds pounded the Carolina coast. By the time it was over, the Cape Fear area had earned its name.
It was horrendous. It was scary.
It seemed like it just went on and on and on last night.
Some beach communities were little more than cities underwater today, and until the state of emergency is lifted, off limits to almost everyone.
If they're not emergency personnel, they don't have a good reason to be there, they're going to go to jail.
At least 12 people died in the storm. One, a Marine from nearby Camp Lejeune, drowned when his car was swept away by the rising tide.
10 pounds per person, that's it.
Ice was a hot commodity as people went their first full day without electricity, while opportunists from out of state jumped at the chance to provide power for those who couldn't wait. Preliminary damage estimates from Fran are in the tens of millions of dollars, but that figure, no question, will grow as beach communities reopen and homeowners return to get an accurate count of what they lost to the wind and the storm surge. CBS News correspondent Art Rascon has a close-up look at the devastation in one of those communities, Topsail Beach.
Here's how damaging that sea surge can be. When Hurricane Fran hit the coast just south of here, the brunt of the storm swept across this area, literally cutting away 10 to 15 feet of the beach and completely submerging Topsail Beach and Surf City. Roads to Topsail Beach are still out. When we landed on the island, the water had receded. Much of what remains here is buried in the sand, and clearly evident everywhere we went was the devastation Fran left behind. Less than 200 homes are on this tiny island. All of them are damaged, many of them destroyed. One of the only people we found was Officer Ron Shanahan, who late last night rescued 2 people who tried to ride out the storm.
They were both hiding in the tub. The house was in the ocean.
Residents are still not allowed on their island. The National Guard, in fact, has taken control of Topsail Beach. But last night, on this fragile barrier island, Mother Nature was clearly in charge. Art Rascon, CBS News, Topsail Beach, North Carolina.
As bad as this Category 3 hurricane was, many people are giving thanks tonight that it wasn't any worse, that it wasn't a Category 4 or 5. Correspondent Harry Smith walked and talked with residents of North Carolina today as they took a close look at what the hurricane did to their homes.
The folks in Scotts Hills, North Carolina spent the day after Fran clearing debris and assessing the storm's damage. They also assessed their good fortune. Yesterday, Dewey and Pat Jackson had a 300-foot pier behind their home, complete with a gazebo. Fran blew it away.
I guess we should be grateful the house is standing. And I am.
People love it here because they can be so close to nature. The water back there is filled with shrimp and oyster, all manner of fish, and fabulous waterfowl. It's like a slice of heaven. But if you were in a house like that one last night, it had to be sheer hell. 2 doors down, Jerry and Donna Robbins know the feeling.
The ocean waves, you might say, were busting right at our back door here. I never thought it would come this high.
Fran obliterated the back section of the Robbins home.
The roof goes over the house and knocks our chimney off and then ends up in the front yard.
Donna and Jerry were in the house the whole time.
You could just feel the whole wall move in and then move out, just, move in a little bit and then go out when the gust would come, and then it would let off and then gust.
The Robbins survived Fran. Their house may not.
I don't know if we're going to be able to save this house.
The high winds and the high water left the local marina in ruins. And everywhere you look, trees, fallen trees. Jim Lee is a retired Army general whose home took a couple of hits during the storm. The damage reminds him of the destruction he saw in Vietnam.
The scenes at those carpet bombing strikes are very similar to the scene you see here. Just total devastation.
Up the street, Mark and Nancy Hoffman's mobile home was crushed by a falling tree.
This was a Category 3. I couldn't imagine 4 or 5.
Living so close to a place as beautiful as this sometimes comes at a high price.
This place is so gorgeous, living on the water. I don't care what we live in, I will live here. We can live in a camper trailer, we can live in a box, we can live in a boat, we can live in the back of our car. I would live here.
Harry Smith, CBS News, Scotts Hills, North Carolina.
A now clearly surging U.S. economy churns out 250,000 new jobs. That story next. Also ahead, are the feds finally about to get the man they say is America's most powerful mafia boss? And schools run by parents. An experiment for the class of 2000.
Lysol spray use number 37, putting those pesky cold germs on hold. Use number 101, Spike's favorite share. New crisp linen scent Lysol disinfectant spray. There's nothing this can't do.
The leading authority on sleep.
You know, I've lost a lot of sleep over Nitol. People who worried about sleep aids felt safe counting sheep. Now they count on Nitol. It helps them sleep without becoming a habit. Nitol will help you get your Z's.
Bobby said he beat you. He's such a kidder.
He wasn't kidding.
Well, maybe he just got lucky.
3 in a row?
Well, maybe we need a new game plan.
Introducing new Ensure Light. Complete balanced nutrition. #1 doctor recommended. Low in fat and only 200 calories. Helps you stay healthy, active, energetic.
I think I'm ready for another.
Another Ensure Light?
Oh, another game.
New Ensure Light. Drink to your health.
The government reported today that U.S. unemployment fell 0.3 points last month. The official national unemployment rate is now 5.1%. Unemployment hasn't been that low in 7 years. Many economists believe it's now more likely the Federal Reserve will raise interest rates at least a little to try to slow the economy down. Economics correspondent Ray Brady has the story behind these new unemployment numbers. Ray?
Dan, there's a key finding in these figures, a pickup in the hiring of those in their early 20s and over 55. That could mean the supply of workers between those ages, the kind of workers employers want, is getting tight.
Even manufacturing jobs showed a pickup last month, especially at auto and equipment plants. In Seattle, orders are up for Boeing's big new 777, and so are jobs. The plane makers adding more than 13,000 workers this year. George Dow hopes to be one of them.
I figured I'd bring my resume out and see what happens.
As one survey shows, it's already hard to find workers in some parts of the country. It's getting tougher in the South, the West, and Midwest, but in other areas there are still many who want jobs. And around the country, 7.5 million Americans must hold more than one job to break even. Still, in many newspapers, help-wanted ads are growing and wages are slowly starting to rise. Though good news on wages could mean higher interest rates ahead, the White House was quick to claim credit for today's numbers.
A new CBS News New York Times poll shows that 55% of Americans approve of the way President Clinton is handling the economy, his most favorable rating ever on that score. Dan?
Thanks, Ray. Another military aircraft on presidential duty crashed today, a U.S. Marine helicopter which rolled over and caught fire at an Orlando, Florida airport. Only minor injuries in today's accident. Last month, a U.S. Air Force cargo plane crashed near the president's vacation spot in Wyoming, killing 9. When we come back, alleged hospital surgeons who never spent a day in medical school.
Well, we're here with Chess Club Captain Marty Harper, who won't switch to Gladlock zipper bags.
These are my good luck bags.
Well, little Marty, what if we shove this pond scum into schoolyard thug Larry Zuger's locker? In either your bag or the Gladlock bag with the yellow and blue make green seal. Your bag doesn't have a green seal, smart man.
I think the smart move would be Gladlock.
When it really counts, get Gladlock. Guys, it's awfully humid in here, guys.
Before introduction, a Moen faucet is tested at least 500,000 times against leaks and drips. So it's hard to find a more reliable faucet, no matter how you look at it. Moen. Buy it for looks. Buy it for life.
Fibercon or Metamucil? Both have fiber for regularity, but I like Fibercon better.
Same natural action of fiber, same dependable regularity.
Fibercon makes staying regular much easier for me.
Fibercon caplets, fiber regularity that's easier to take.
America's invented at the hardware store, and it's reinvented every day. ServiceStar's Great American Fix-Up Month's going on right now all across the country. It's great prices on a lot of things that you need. We have Great American Fix-Up specials on a Stanley tape rule and utility knife, and a great buy from Frost King at the lowest prices of the year. ServiceStar stores offer great service and great value, knowledgeable help. Hey, this is really worth the trip.
It's the forest like you've never seen it before, and no, it's not over your head. Get an eagle's eye view from above the treetops when you join Charles Osgood this Sunday morning.
The state of Texas is finally taking action to stop what is reported to have been alleged fraud in hospitals, not in the billing department, but in the operating room. Scott Pelley in Houston has the incredible story of alleged phony doctors taking part in risky surgery with possible deadly consequences.
Over 3 years, hundreds of surgery patients in Houston placed their lives in the hands of imposters posing as surgeons. That, according to the state of Texas, which is prosecuting 17 alleged charlatan doctors.
These defendants posed as licensed physicians, assisted with literally hundreds of surgeries, and then fraudulently charged more than 50 insurance companies and countless individuals for their illegal services.
Today, the state served a court order on Jaime Olmo and his assistant surgeons of Texas. The state says members assisted primary surgeons in everything from heart bypass to brain surgery. Nurses told investigators bogus surgeons were often left alone to finish procedures.
Mr. Olmo, his resume indicates that he spent one semester at a community college in Florida.
Assistant Attorney General Pat Tulinski says some members may have attended dubious Caribbean medical schools, but none met U.S. standards, and the hospitals didn't check.
This company independently contracted with the hospitals, and they were evidently permitted to self-credential.
The hospitals took their word for it.
It appears that way.
This evening, a spokesman for the self-described doctors said they did break the law but didn't know it.
They were unaware of it, but they did.
It now appears the allegedly phony physicians participated in 880 surgeries at one hospital alone in just 6 months. Investigators are now poring over medical records to determine just how many patients may have been hurt or killed by men the Attorney General now calls criminals behind surgeons' masks. Scott Pelley, CBS News, Houston.
Here in New York, another story of alleged fakery, this one involving the man federal agents say is the most powerful mafia godfather in the land. They say he's been faking mental illness for years to escape the law. But today, federal agents could declare the show is over. Anthony Mason reports.
It took 6 years finally to bring him to court, the frail, trembling man who federal agents say is the boss of the wealthiest, most powerful crime family in the country. Vincent the Chin Gigante pleaded not guilty today to a battery of charges.
You've got 6 murders, 3 conspiracies to commit murder, labor payoffs, extortion.
But how could this man be a mob boss? For decades, Gigante's routinely been seen wandering his Greenwich Village neighborhood in his pajamas and bathrobe, mumbling incoherently.
He makes a good case that he's crazy, but as has been said many times in the past, he's crazy like a fox.
Jules Bonavolante led the FBI squad that first arrested Gigante in 1990.
In court, his attorneys said he was too sick to stand trial. For 6 years, they argued over Gigante's mental condition. The judge finally ordered in a team of psychiatrists to check out the Chin.
He acted continuously as though he was some kind of a zombie.
Dr. Daniel Schwartz at first declared Gigante unfit, but then John Gotti's chief lieutenant, Sammy the Bull Gravano, turned informant and fingered the Chin as a mafia don. Dr. Schwartz reevaluated his patient.
There were conversations that he had with people that indicated that he was, in his particular field, let's say, a good businessman.
Last month, Judge Eugene Nickerson, calling Gigante's behavior an elaborate deception, ordered him to stand trial. At his arraignment today, Gigante wore a T-shirt, a windbreaker, and said nothing.
Obviously, it was a difficult day for Vincent Gigante today. You observed him, I'm sure, and you saw what he looked like.
Federal agents call him the last of the old mafia bosses. And now that Gigante's on trial, they believe they may finally beat the Chin at his own pajama game. Anthony Mason, CBS News, Brooklyn, New York.
Still ahead, the class of 2000 and U.S. troops in Japan under political fire on Okinawa.
The most rewarding relationships are the ones that grow with time. It's the same for those of you who choose AT&T, because you understand that the true rewards only come from a lasting relationship. Introducing the new AT&T True Rewards program. Rewards you can get right away, every day. It's our way of saying thanks just for being an AT&T customer. The new True Rewards program. It's one of the rewards of a lasting relationship. That's your true choice, AT&T.
You know, heartburn medicines have been around for years. First came Tagamet, then Zantac, then Pepcid. But the newest, Axid, now in non-prescription strength as New Axid AR. The only one that says right on its labeling, for many, it can prevent heartburn completely. It's all right here. Tagamet HB, Zantac 75, and Pepcid AC don't say what Axid AR says. Complete prevention of heartburn. Now that's saying something. New Axid AR, proven it can prevent heartburn completely.
Ah, the good old days of supermarket shopping. When nothing stood between you and your next meal. Nothing. But today, there are materials that help lock out harmful contaminants and reduce spoilage, keeping us safe and the food we eat fresh. Plastics make it possible. So now, the rest is history.
Starting soon, the Publishers Clearinghouse Prize Patrol will surprise 50 winners in 50 states.
Are you serious?
You gotta be kidding. That's one winner in every single state. There'll be prizes up to $100,000.
I've been blessed.
Someone from your state is guaranteed to win.
I can't believe this.
Enter the Publishers Clearinghouse Sweepstakes today, and the winner could be you.
Play action, that's our thing.
Get him in motion and then...
Over the top.
Down the middle. Saturday, UCLA plays Tennessee.
We'll be ready.
Just watch.
The U.S. attacks on Iraq, did they go far enough, and are there more coming? Defense Secretary Perry and Senators McCain and Kerry face the nation Sunday.
The people of Okinawa will vote Sunday in a referendum on the presence of the U.S. military. The Japanese island, scene of a especially fierce battle at the end of World War II, is now home base for nearly 30,000 U.S. troops. The movement to oust them began a year ago following a rape by Americans. Correspondent Barry Peterson reports from Okinawa.
The Marines on Okinawa train for war every day, but the U.S. military may be about to lose a battle here without firing a single shot. TV is full of commercials. The air full of slogans demanding a vote to close U.S. military bases in a non-binding referendum on Sunday. Every poll shows America losing big.
We want to utilize our own land and our own seashore, our own sky.
General Chorus, all hands man battle stations.
America has 100,000 troops stationed across Asia, half of them based in Japan. But the friendly relations between America and Japan were shattered a year ago this week when 3 U.S. servicemen abducted and raped a 12-year-old Okinawa schoolgirl. That gave anti-base opponents a rallying cry.
Now, they planned that rape. They planned every step of it. They meant to rape a schoolgirl. That's some pretty sick individuals.
Now, every incoming Marine faces Sergeant Major Mike Carpenter's unforgiving eyes.
You got to stop and you got to think about what the hell you're doing before you go out and do something stupid like that.
But it may be too late for that. The Okinawans believe they've started Japan down a path that will only end when the last American soldier is sent packing. Barry Peterson, CBS News, Okinawa.
Mother Teresa of Calcutta is home from the hospital she left this morning, still weak from a bout with heart disease and malaria. The 86-year-old Nobel Peace Prize winner said she wanted to go back to work at her worldwide mission for the poor.
Now here's some welcome news. It's not age that slows most of us down. It's usually not eating right. New Resource helps guarantee you get the nutrition you need to be your best every day. Improve your diet. Improve your life with New Resource, the liquid nutritional food. And here comes more good news. Resource is the only nutritional drink with fresh fruit flavors and no fat. Only from Resource.
Could we ask you a personal question? Is your mouth really clean?
It's clean enough.
Clean? I brush.
Is your mouth clean enough to kiss someone?
Kind of kiss.
Well, I brushed.
If you want your whole mouth clean, you want Scope. Because while brushing cleans teeth, Scope gets to the hard-to-reach places to kill millions more germs than brushing alone. And leaves your whole mouth feeling cleaner. Scope Clean is kissably clean. The best kind of clean your mouth can be.
Claritin.
You've got to ask your doctor about Claritin.
I did. You should too.
I will. Everybody should.
It's time you experience Claritin. Ask your doctor for a prescription and call 1-800-Claritin.
Claritin is right for me.
Until I asked my doctor, I had no idea what Claritin was.
Clear days and nights are here. Call 1-800-Claritin. Is that clear?
Perfectly.
Ask your doctor about Claritin today and call 1-800-Claritin for a $5 coupon and free information.
No matter what size fax you send, no matter where in the world you send it, AT&T guarantees it'll get there. Because now, AT&T has 70% more international routes, which means more ways to get around trouble and more ways to steer clear of danger. So your international fax gets through. No matter where in the world you send it. Guaranteed network reliability at a competitive price, only from AT&T for the life of your business.
AT&T, your true choice, presents the Class of 2000.
Everyone agrees the Class of 2000 and all of America's children will need a good education to compete for good jobs in the coming century. But how best to teach them is the subject of continuing debate. Tonight, correspondent Russ Mitchell reports on an experiment in education in which parents run public schools.
14-year-old Michael Haywood, class of 2000, spent a lot of his summer zeroing in on a singular goal.
I'm going to be a famous rock star when I'm 23.
When you're 23, you've got 9 years to make it.
Right. So, if I haven't made it by then, I guess I'll have to keep trying.
But just in case he doesn't make it as a musician, Michael's mother, Mary, also spent the summer hard at work. She and her son were on the front lines of an American experiment, putting parents in charge of public schools.
He was bored, and I couldn't get much feedback from the school. There were so many kids and so few teachers, and I had to remind a lot of his teachers who exactly we were talking about. There have been so many failures and fewer successes as time goes by that I think that parents can run a good school.
What Mary Haywood did was to sign up for a brand new school, not a private school, but a public one, operated with existing state funds, a so-called charter school.
There it is. Spanish, man. We can't take Spanish, we have to take Latin. Oh.
They called their new school Genesis Charter School. Texas is one of 7 states which allows groups of parents to petition for and often receive a charter to operate a new public school if they can prove a need. It is not easy, and there are many out there who believe parents have no business being in charge of a public school.
Yes, receiving input from the parents I think is good, but I don't think the parents should run the schools.
Michael Kunstad is president of the school board in the Dallas suburb of Irving. He has an opinion on charter schools because a brand new one opened its doors this fall in his district. It took more than 3 years for a small group of parents and teachers to start Renaissance Charter School.
The thing to do is learn. I mean, we're here to learn. In other normal public high schools, it's, you know, if you really want to learn and, you know, you study a lot, you know, they call you a nerd and everything, even if you're not.
Precisely the reasons Michael Haywood wanted so badly to enroll at a charter school of his own.
It really seemed like it was a genuine attempt to get a better education going for children, more student-to-teacher basis, more actual learning going on than just standardized tests and things like that.
We want you to come willing and open to learn.
But it wasn't to be. 10 days before the opening bell, dozens of parents pulled their kids out, saying Genesis was operating on too much of a shoestring. Parents like Mary Haywood and students like her son Michael, who had counted on the school being open, were stranded.
Didn't really sink in at first, but now it's kind of depressing because I'd really been looking forward to this for a while now, and now it's gone.
I want to be involved with Genesis next year, I think, and I really do feel that it'll go forward.
Its founders insist Genesis will open for business in the fall of 1997. Meanwhile, Michael Haywood did show up for his first day as a member of the class of 2000 at a traditional high school in the Dallas public school system. I'm Russ Mitchell in Dallas with the class of 2000.
And that's part of our world tonight. Leslie Stahl has a preview now of Sunday's 60 Minutes.
There's no better way to know the Kurds and why Saddam Hussein fears them than to spend time in their camps and villages in northern Iraq. That's just what Ed Bradley and I did after the Gulf War. Sunday on 60 Minutes, we'll take you back there to get reacquainted with the people whose plight has once again brought U.S. missiles to the Gulf.
And we'll be back Monday with the CBS Evening News. Dan Rather reporting from New York. Have a great weekend. Good night.
CBS News.
This year stars across